5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
This is About Space, America's return to space, with news and information on our U.S. space program.
From our About Space Today World Headquarters, I'm John Gomez, and here are the stories you need to know about. Falcon 9s are cleared for launch, ULA's final Atlas V mission, and a fresh update on Boeing Starliner. You'll hear about this and more next, as America and the world is listening to About Space Today.
D&D Cruise and Tours is the official agent for About Space, and we invite you to come fly away to all-inclusive resort island destinations, or a cruise vacation from Port Canaveral, and even visit the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, or just come and see the parks. Call for a discount cruise or an island getaway or the Florida beaches. Call today. The call is free, and so are our services. Call 877-747-8631. That's 877-747-8631. We are Florida's group travel specialists.
Welcome back. SpaceX got back to doing what they do best on the mornings of July 27th and July 28th, launching Falcon 9s on each coast and recovering the booster. Well, that's great, John, but what's so special about a Falcon 9 launch? I'll tell you. It was the first launch since a failure on July 11th had grounded all Falcon 9s. So the mishap earlier this month came from liquid oxygen that was leaking in the upper stage of the rocket. That's where the satellites are at. And it was supposed to do this thing called an orbit-raising burn. And it wasn't able to achieve that because it was leaking liquid oxygen. So the satellites didn't get high enough into orbit, and they couldn't maneuver them high enough into orbit. So unfortunately, even though they deployed successfully, they weren't in the right spot. So there's nothing they could do with those satellites. The good news is that SpaceX was able to determine the cause of the leak. They've taken steps to ensure that the issue does not occur on future flights. And I can tell you, from my perspective, this reporter is looking forward to once again seeing regular Falcon 9 launches from my home on the Space Coast. In other news, United Launch Alliance, ULA, is preparing to launch its final Atlas V rocket for the military on July 30th. Carrying a classified payload, the rocket is scheduled to lift off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 6:45 a.m. So, by the time you hear my voice on this podcast, and maybe you're sipping some coffee or tea or what have you, the rocket and the payload will already be in orbit. This will be ULA's 100th national security launch and 53rd overall using Atlas V rockets. ULA is replacing their Atlas V rockets with their new Vulcan Centaur rocket, though the Centaur has faced some setbacks, and ULA has relied more on Atlas V given its past performance. Finally this week, what's become a recurring topic, Boeing Starliner. Yep, it's still connected to the space station. Nope, it's not going anywhere for now. I think we can start to assume that astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams are in fact stranded. Well, maybe stranded is too harsh of a word, but they're definitely stuck. Stranded to me means they have no hope of getting out of there, whereas there's options to get them out of there. They're just not the best options right now, so Butch and Sonny are effectively stuck, but the good news is they're making the most of it. As of today, July 30th, 2024, they have been in space for 55 days and counting. There's no timetable on when they could return to Earth, though NASA and Boeing continue to run tests to ensure the functionality of the thrusters that had caused the issues for the spacecraft. Good news, though, NASA and Boeing have already announced that the astronauts will indeed be coming home within a few weeks, and they will do so aboard Starliner. About Space Today will keep you up to date on what's happening with Starliner as they approach the trip home. Make sure you check out our Facebook page, aboutspace.today, for launches and landings. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform. Just don't forget to mash the like and subscribe button, especially on YouTube. Join David Denault twice a month for Special Report and Don Meyer every Friday for America in Space. Whether you're listening from an outpost in Antarctica or just on your phone here in the U.S., thanks for joining me. I'm John Gomez, and you just learned a little about space today.